thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. I know it's your off day today, and you'd rather be in pajamas and chilling, but you're here, so I really appreciate that.
Thanks for having me, Fundo. I'm quite excited to have this chat.
I'm so excited. If you guys don't know, like, we've been meaning to have this interview for like a long time, and she's busy. She's a forensic dentist, so she doesn't have a lot of time. So this is like really dope, and I really appreciate your time. I really do.
No, anytime. It's nice to make time for people. It's also important. I mean, work is important, but it can't be the only thing we do. Yeah.
So guys, as I said, Vimbai is a forensic dentist. I don't really know what that is, but I'm pretty sure, she's still a dentist where kids go and stuff. Like, do kids come to you and like, are they scared of you?
That's an interesting question because kids do come to me. I see people of all age ranges. So from kids of one year old up until older individuals. The funny thing is, the ones who are more scared of me are the adults. So with kids, I'm able to convince them that they can trust me and the procedure is not going to be painful. So the ones who usually scream and cry are their parents and their grandparents. So that's quite a funny observation.
That's crazy. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been working this is your 5th year working right now, right?
Yes, this is my 5th year. I graduated in 2015.
From Wits.
It's been a while.
I'm just curious as well. So how's that been going? How's been like working? How was your first experience out of university when you graduated and like got a job? First of all, was it like hard to get a job, or was it like relatively easy? I don't know, but like asking for the graduates, people are going to graduate soon or whatever. Like, was it hard, or you'd already found it before you actually graduated?
So the nice thing about studying at med school or being a healthcare student is that once you're in your final year, your university actually sends out a list where you can pick 5 hospitals or clinics that you would like to work in, and then you get placed in one of those facilities where you do a community service. So that makes it quite easier. After graduation, you almost guaranteed a job and a proper paying job. So the problem comes after community service, where the facility can either absorb you as a permanent employee, or now you have to start job hunting and looking for something outside where you've done your community service. So for me, I was placed in Mpumalanga, more of the rural side of Mpumalanga, in Volksrust. Not many people know that area. It's literally on the border of Mpumalanga and KZN. So it's like a small farm town. There's only about 4 shops where you can do your shopping. But it was a good experience for me in terms of becoming independent and learning to rely on myself, being away from my parents and being away from home and literally learning to adult on my own. So I worked there for a year for my community service, and I was blessed enough to be absorbed by my hospital. They kept me for 2 more years. And then after that, I got a post in Gauteng. So since 2018, I've been here in Gauteng. So it's been an interesting journey. I mean, I feel like I'm a city girl and I enjoy city life, going to the mall and all that. So it was interesting having to adapt to now living in a more rural setting. But it has its perks as well, where I'd find that I wouldn't spend as much money because, I mean, there's no mall where I was working. So I saved up a lot of money. So I think overall it was a very good experience. It was, I wouldn't change a thing. Yeah.
Are you in your office or what? Because I'm looking at your background and I'm like, this is really cool. This is like professional stuff, dude. And I have like a blank wall behind you. Are you like
No, this is actually my lounge. I've got my TV and my couch on the other side. So yeah, that's my feature wall with all my art and my flowers. As you can see, I love flowers. So yeah, this is just my lounge.
Okay.
Nothing fancy.
That's pretty cool though. I like that. I think I want to do something like that. You know, if a show gets like, you know, lives up to its potential, I'm gonna get like a nice, you know, like Jimmy Kimmel type of stuff. I want stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway,
No, you
so I'm gonna ask like a bit more like technical and harder questions now. I don't know how to say this, but like, do you feel like it was harder? Um, you know, because we know women like get discriminated in work and they don't have like the same opportunities as men do. Have you ever like been in a position where you've seen, you know, that you actually being discriminated, and especially because I guess you like a foreign national. Is that okay if I say it like that? Yeah.
yeah,
Have you ever
yeah.
like experienced something like that?
So that's a pretty loaded question. I'd say definitely I've experienced discrimination. Firstly, as you mentioned, I'm a foreign national. I'm originally from Zimbabwe. So first and foremost is language barrier. You know, I had to learn the language, the local language. Second of all, being a young female in my profession, I did get a bit of pushback from some of my older colleagues, some of the male colleagues, even the females actually. So yeah, being a young Black female dentist, or actually being in any profession, I think as a young Black female, it's a bit more challenging because now you have to work extra harder to prove yourself, to prove that you're worthy and prove that you are qualified to be in the position you are in. Funny enough, I've actually been promoted to level of management where I'm currently working. If I can tell you the amount of pushback I got, the worst part was that it was from my black colleagues, where they'd always second guess my opinion. When I'd say something, they'd always want a second opinion first before they take what I say. So it's actually very hurtful to see that. Not only the staff, I mean, even the patients, if you believe it, the patients, when they see me, they actually call me, they think I'm the nurse and then the white colleague is the doctor, you know? That's usually their first assumption, which I guess historically speaking, looking at our socioeconomic background in South Africa, I kind of understand where their mindset is based on where we were in the past as Black South Africans. So I guess now seeing that we're becoming more educated as Black South Africans, it's hard for some people, especially the elders, to grasp that, you know, a Black individual can be a doctor, can be a surgeon, can be an engineer, a pilot, you know, I guess it's ingrained in their mind that the Black individual is less than a white individual. So yeah, it's quite hurtful, but in the same breath, it does build your character. It's made me so resilient, and I feel like I've become so much stronger having to learn how to deal with these situations. In the beginning, obviously, it was very hurtful. I remember a particular experience when I just started working, and I had an elderly Black lady who was my patient. And she actually told me she doesn't trust me enough to allow me to treat her. Actually, I was working with an Indian colleague. She actually wanted him to treat her instead of me. So that was quite hurtful, but I mean, you learn to adapt and kind of be forgiving. Yeah, because now it doesn't help for me to also have an angry attitude towards these patients, because you know I need to teach to just display humility and just kind of understand where they're coming from. But yeah, it's been quite tricky.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's something I really hope changes as we progress as a nation, you know?
Yeah, I'm just shocked to the teeth. Like, I mean, I don't think I was ready to give that answer when I asked you that. But like, I'm just like this is terrible. I mean, we hear about these things every day, but you know, now that I'm hearing it for me, it's just like, what the heck, you know? Funny if my dad told me that he's like a civil engineer, and you know, like
Wow.
they'd be like a you know like a secretary, like a white secretary, and like I don't want to be like you know bad, but like you know they're kind of like lower than him, and it's still like you know treats him like he's stupid, but I'm an engineer, dude. I have my own company, and you're secretary, and you still think I'm stupid, you know? And dude, like this is just terrible. And Yeah, dude. And I was thinking like, um, it's so sad how, when we see like a group of, like a black guys, and I'm black. If I see something like that, then I freak out, because white people do that because I don't know, they guess we're thugs or whatever. But then it also like same with us, dude. If you see like a suspicious black person, be like, oh my god, I'm gonna get robbed. And I mean, that's kind of sad that even we've like, you know, we think like that about ourselves.
It's
But I'm
true.
just,
I really agree with what you're saying. I think the saddest impact that racism and the apartheid regime left on us as Black people is that it's made us hate ourselves. As Black people, we hate. I feel like there's this spirit of hatred towards our own African brothers and sisters. I mean, if you look at
yeah,
xenophobia,
yeah,
we're attacking our own people. That's just the saddest part. I mean, I wouldn't say it's understandable, but you kind of expect a non-Black person to be racist towards a Black person, but when Blacks ourselves are racist towards each other, I mean, that's the saddest part.
I'm thinking now, like, how is it possible that like I'm black, I come to you and I don't trust you, but like I don't understand that. I mean, I personally don't feel like that. Like, but it's just mind-boggling that some people still think like that. And I mean, I don't want to say it's not their fault, but then again, like, we're progressing, Jade. I mean, we need to. Oh my God, bro! I'm just like, wow. But
Yeah, no,
I'm really.
but I think that's what makes what you're doing, Fundo, with your channel, and I mean, all the things you've been doing, it makes it so impactful because you kind of allowing people to open up their minds and see that, I mean, there's so much more out there in the world than just to focus on each other and being critical of each other and, hating each other. I really love what you're doing, Fundo, because I think the future really lies in you guys, the youth of South Africa. It's the only way that we're gonna just grow out of this toxic culture. So big ups to you. I think what you're doing is amazing. I take my head off to you.
But you're only 29, so you're still like young, dude. Like, come on now. I mean, but yeah, dude, like,
Yes.
thank you for that. I'm still trying to think. I'm like, what the heck, dude? But like, yeah, man, it's sad. But how did you manage to? Because I can imagine there were times where you felt like this is not for me, or like felt hopeless. And how did you get through that and like manage to get to where you are today, where you even you are promoted, and I think you're successful. Yeah, disagree, you are successful. So how did you manage to get over those things and battle those things to get where you are today? Because excuse me, you are like a testimony to show that like it's not impossible. There are challenges, and I don't mean to be insensitive because I really I can't imagine how hard it must be, being a black woman, more so for a foreign national, and going through all these things. But like, it's so cool to see that you've managed to like beat those things, and overcome them. So how did you, or what was your mindset when you felt hopeless, or like this is not for me, or when you get angry? Because it's okay to get angry. I'd be angry as well. So how did you like get to this point where you just
Yeah. I think that's a very important question, and I love that you bring it up because I feel like a lot of times, especially with this world of social media that we have now, we look at people who are successful and who have made it, wealthy people, people in power, and we think that they don't have any obstacles, life was easy for them. We think, oh, I'll never make it to where this person is. And that is so not true. I can tell you now, I've been through the most. It's been tough. Like for anyone who's watching, if you're still in school, if you're still in varsity, if you post varsity, maybe you're looking for a job still, and you're feeling hopeless, or you're feeling like, oh, I've been failing. I can't obtain this degree or this diploma or this certificate. I've been there, guys. I've been there. Honestly, you just need to really. That's where, for me, my faith came in. That was a really big part for me. I mean, all throughout varsity, after varsity, job hunting now after ComServe, there were times where I thought, oh man, maybe I made a wrong career choice, you know. As I spoke about, when I get backlash from colleagues or from my patients, I think, you know, maybe this patient is right, maybe I don't have it in me. And I think the important thing is to fight that voice in your mind, because the biggest obstacle or the biggest critic we have to overcome is ourselves. It's within ourselves. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't push and work, who else is going to do that for you? If you give up, no one else can do that, put in that work for you, you know? So for me, yes, I had those days when I was down, and I really do believe that there's no such thing as you should always be happy, or you're not allowed to be in a place where you're feeling upset or depressed, or, you know, like you're not enough. Feel those emotions, you know? It's okay, you're only human. But the important thing is that you talk to people. If you need help, get help. If you need professional help, get help to speak to someone. And yeah, man, just find that, I don't know, that spirit within you to allow you to push, and just take it a day at a time. I mean, I remember, let's talk about in varsity now. So coming up to exam time, if they give you your scope for your exam, it seems like a mountain that you'll never be able to climb. But if you break it down, take it a day at a time, literally. If you tell yourself, not even that you're going to finish this chapter today, just say, you know what, for me, I'm going to do these 5 pages. I mean, that's an accomplishment. That's you putting in the work. And always the work will pay off at the end of the day. I think another thing that I just want to mention is, I think we should stop comparing ourselves to other people. I've been guilty of that in the past, where I compare myself to my peers, people my age, people younger than me. I think, how can that person be so far in life and I'm older than them? You know, I think it gets us nowhere. It just reinforces that negative voice we have in our head. So I really think this thing of running your own race in your own lane, your own pace, it's really true, you know, because there's no rule book when it comes to life, you know. So yeah, do things your own way. I think as growing older, it's become easier to just tell people, no, I'm going to do things my way, you know. Even when you get criticism, as long as you know what you stand for and you know what's important to you and you know why you're doing the things you do, you know who you're getting that degree for, you know who you're going to get that job for, you know. I mean, no one can take that away from you. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
It does. Like, I'm just like, whoa. I mean, dude, I'm so glad I had this interview. This was, I'm actually giving myself a pat on my back because, yeah, this was really good. But sure, like, thank you. But wow, Vimbai, like, this is what the show is about, man. Hearing from people who've done it, are doing it, and will do it. And I can't stress enough about, like, I mean, I've only like known you for like what, a couple of months now, I guess. And I mean, I'm just proud of you, you know, because it wasn't easy. I mean, I can't imagine how. I mean, I get angry for like when dude, like, yeah, dude, you're a strong, powerful woman, man. Like, this is amazing stuff, dude. I know your story is gonna encourage other women out there to just keep on pushing and stuff. But like, yes, it's so unfair how you guys have to go through stuff like this. I mean, dude, it's just sad, dude. But here you are. You showed us that it's possible, and we can do it. Everyone can do it, and it's yeah. It's just like a
Definitely. And I think I've told you as well, Fundo, when you make it big, don't forget me. I've told you that, and I'm gonna keep telling you that.
dude, don't worry, dude. Like yeah, don't worry, dude. You know, I'm pretty sure Vori's gonna be like on my case because she said the same thing to me. You know, your sister. I mean, hopefully I get there, but I just want this. I just want to touch people's lives because, you know, we need to hear stuff like this as a young generation, because I feel like, you know, like you said, like we put so much pressure on ourselves, and you know, we don't have to do that. I mean, I was like, I couldn't even start this thing, you know, because I want to start this channel, I want to do this, but like I kept doubting myself. I'm like, maybe I'm in over my head, you know, type of thing. But I'm like, you know what, screw it, let me just do it. If it fails, whatever. But you know, I feel like I would have loved to hear from from people, and I love hearing from like people, you know, in different professions, how they manage to do it, how, because we all face obstacles, and even though we might be in different like professions or like chasing other professions, there's still things we can learn from each other, and I've definitely learned something from you, you know, and I'm sure that the audience as well will definitely learn something from you. So, like, thank you so much, Vimbai. Dude, yeah, I'm just really happy right now. You know, I just, I don't know what to say. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm proud of you. I really am. Like, I've been impressed by you, honestly. I think your ambition and your drive and your passion is really inspiring. And I just wish all South African youth could just have this ambition that you have, you know? But yeah, thanks for this opportunity, really. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
coming. Thank you for coming. Like, hey guys, you don't understand. You mean to have this interview like last week, but you know, she's busy and stuff. Like, okay, so like, what does a forensic dentist do? Because I mean, I know what a dentist is, but I don't know what a forensic dentist is. Maybe I've been
Okay.
to one and I don't know.
Okay, so basically, my obsession with forensics began so many years ago, watching shows like CSI, Law and Order. You know, I don't know if you're into such shows, but you know when there's a dead body, let's say lying in a river or in the middle of a field. Yes, and now there's the detectives there with their cool shades, and now they're trying to figure out who this person was. You know, I don't know, I just had this insane passion for such. I wanted to get into that field. Originally, I wanted to get into criminology, but unfortunately, I couldn't find a program in that regard. So I looked into forensic dentistry. This is after my dental degree. So what forensic dentists actually do is we are responsible for that. Usually, most of the work that we do deals with identifying unknown bodies. These victims who have been murdered or even died of natural causes who have not been identified. We basically come in there, and I don't know if you've seen where people talk about identifying an individual based on their fingerprints or their DNA. So another aspect you can look at is their dental profile and their teeth, because what a lot of people don't know is that our teeth are all unique to us. No two people have the same teeth. No one has the same teeth that you have, even if it's your twin brother. And the reason being, as we grow up and our teeth all erupt into their particular eruption pattern, the way we use our teeth, what we eat, you know, biting of beer bottles, even smoking, all these things affect our teeth in different ways. And you'll find that every individual has different chips and cracks and fillings in their teeth. So your teeth are actually individual and very unique to you. So it's a way that you can identify a person. So what you find is that they'll call a forensic odontologist onto a crime scene or into the mortuary, and now you have to do a full dental profile of this individual, where you look at the teeth and the dental formula, and you try to match it up to your list of who this person might possibly be. So it's actually a very, very, very interesting, I could talk about this forever. It gets me so excited. The other thing we do, we deal with a lot of child abuse cases where kids have been bitten or abused, We also deal with age identifying cases. So what you find is a lot of, well, not a lot, but there are cases where there have been criminals committing crimes, and now when they get caught, they try to claim that they're younger than what their actual age is so that they don't get convicted as an adult. So the funny thing is we can look at their teeth and we can actually identify their exact age based on their teeth. So you'd find a person who's 21 years old has committed a crime and now they're claiming to be 16 years old. And you can tell the court that no, this person is exactly 20 years and 4 months old based on their dental profile. So it's like, I feel like a crime fighter in a way. So
It is.
I enjoy it so much.
That's so cool, dude. Like, I mean, Well, so you be like, I'm 21, and you're like, no, you're not. We just checked your record. You're 38 or something. So that's what you guys do.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so you guys bring evidence to the court, type of thing.
Exactly.
This
Exactly.
is
Speaking for, yeah, I mean, even if I forgot to mention mass disasters. So
yeah.
if you're looking at big events like 9/11, the Twin Tower attacks, or where a mosque has been bombed, or a church has been bombed, or there's been an airplane crash, and now there's just hundreds of bodies scattered and lying around, and now you need a quick and efficient way to identify these individuals. Because DNA evidence takes quite long to analyze. And sometimes you can't do fingerprint identification on these people. So the dental identification is very efficient, very quick, and very accurate. So it's actually a very important part of, of disaster victim identification as well. So yeah, it's funny that it's a very small environment where there's very few forensic dentists within South Africa, especially. So yeah, it's I feel like I'm doing my part to save the world, you know?
This is like stuff you see on TV, dude, like on Bull or something, you know. This right, you have like the coolest job. Like, I mean, I used to think, I don't know, like aeronautical engineers have the dopest job, but no, you do. This is like really cool. I wish I'd done something like that, because this is like you live in a movie, dude, type of thing. So this is really awesome, you know. But yeah, guys, if you don't know what a forensic dentist does, now you know it's not just a dentist. I just thought, you have like those chairs, and you have like lollipops for kids, But I guess not. That's really cool. Sure.